Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PGC America's Recap. We finished up the knockout round, and America's has 3 teams going into the grand finals. That's right, 3 teams. And of course, with me to discuss these past few days of amazing PUBG action is Mastern00k. Mark, brother, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. A little heartbroken, but overall pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a little heartbroken too, man. I think we just started off with LG. I think this is probably the best team to start off with, right? Obviously, we love these boys very much, but it just wasn't their event. They were the team to finish in last, unfortunately. But overall, they started strong in the group stages, right? Like they looked really good.
Yeah.
You and I had initially talked about them, like, damn, you know, they're gonna bring it back, but that doesn't really seem to be the case, is it?
Yeah, I mean, starting after day 2, even we're like, they're going to qualify for winners, and they had that crazy game with Luke, as we talked about before, and
it was so good.
They just had a rough day 3.
Yeah.
Past that and losers, oh man, it's just. Dude,
they were always in good positions.
They were always in good positions. They just could not win a team fight. I don't know what it was about them, what happened, but that's not what we expect from them, right? I mean, they are
not at all.
The Iron Man. They're warriors.
Especially internationally, right?
Yep.
They've been so solid internationally, and this is the first time they've really slipped up. So unfortunately, again, we don't want to really harp on them too long, but LG are out. They're out of the tournament.
Last place, really rough.
Last place, it's really not great. We love those boys and wanted a different result, but it is what it is. So moving on, another kind of disappointment team, man. Sonics. You know, Sonics is, I mean, really, what is there to say, Mark? Sonics should have been in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean,
but just like LG,
everyone expects them a top 3 team in the world, right? Everyone expects Tiggleton to be Tiggleton and do his stuff along with the boys. Overall, they just were not themselves. I feel like they were not the Sonics we all know and love, right?
Okay, so here's the thing. They brought things back in Losers Bracket 1, right? And so they looked good again. As you said, they had been able to get Tig back online. Like, everyone was starting to fire on all cylinders. Like, Quinn was doing his thing. Obviously, they were still getting put in good positions, but it just, it looked like things fell apart, honestly. And especially in Grand Survival, where they had good positions to play off of, but it didn't look good. It just didn't look good. I mean, it wasn't the team that we expected. I'll say, and so because of that, you know, Sonics unfortunately will be they'll be heading home as well. And of course, Mark, for the last team. So we did say we had 3 teams, you know, going up to grand finals, which is wonderful, but half of our teams didn't make it. The last half of that is going to be 22 Esports, which, I mean, to be completely honest, 22, man, I really wanted to see them qualify, right? Like,
so close.
They were so consistent for the most part throughout.
They didn't qualify by 3 points in winners, correct? Losers bracket 2, they almost qualify again.
It was all so close.
Yeah, I mean, overall, you can't really harp on them. It's not like the other boys where they just weren't playing themselves. 22 was playing like themselves. They did good. They got themselves in great positions, right? Fraggers, Haven, I think he played exceptionally well.
Dude, Haven actually, I think, stepped up. To be fair, I actually think Haven, Vinny, and Hasten stepped up, right? Like, a lot of, I feel like we were definitely the focus on 22 was Gizero. There's no question about it, right? There's absolutely no question about it. His first big LAN, obviously, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that his first LAN is the biggest event in PUBG, right? But overall, 22's macro looked great. Their team fighting looked solid. They didn't look lost. I mean, they almost had it. They almost won 2 separate games with top 3 finishes in Grand Survival.
The Grand Survival games, they were. It was actually heartbreaking when we were watching that. Oh my god, it was so close, but.
It was incredibly close. But again, 22 Esports, they still have a lot to look back on this event and improve going on into next year. So we hope to see them there. And that brings us, Mark, to our top 3 teams, the ones going into grand finals, baby. And we're just going to start it off, dude, wild
card insane.
Oh my.
Adam and the boys, they're just I don't know what switched. Was that right?
I don't know what.
Something switched and it went. They just popped off. Possibly
they flipped the switch, man, for sure.
The 22 kill win, possibly the most. I think tied with the most even. But oh man, that game was insane.
Wildcard absolutely did set the record this PGC for most kills so far, right? We still have grand finals, but I mean, that game alone was. I mean, it was so impressive from start to finish, right? Because another thing that I really think that Wildcard did, and they generally do well, is they weren't fighting out of super strong positions all the time, right, Mark? Like, they were kind of stuck in some trenches or some really rough positions, and they were just able to fight out of it.
Nico.
And then Nikos, bro! Nikos, with that.
He got the MK14, and even though I think...
And
he had Groza also, yeah. But his MK14 were dirty.
Just to remind ourselves as well, like, Wildcard did slip up in winners bracket, right? They didn't qualify for winners. They slipped up. I think they only got like 14th place, so they slid down to the bottom 16 for sure. And we had kind of talked about like, oh man, how like are they going to be able to bounce back? Obviously, they're a strong team. We believed in them. We just weren't sure, especially with what was happening with some of our other teams. But they did not disappoint, bro. They came swinging. Obviously, that 22 kill game win followed, and I'm just so happy Wildcard made it, man. They absolutely deserved it. Adam and the boys, I am genuinely happy. I feel like, okay, we could talk a whole, probably like 30 minutes to an hour just on Wildcard. We could probably talk 3 hours on Wildcard, but we're going to move on. Wildcard, going to Grand Finals, boys. You are absolutely amazing. We love you. Thank you for putting up the performance, and we wish you all the best. I hope they finish top 5, man. I really do. They deserve
100%.
it. All right, Mark, which brings us to our final 2 teams, both the winners, of course. Yahoo being one of those. Sparking, Poonage, Shinboy, Balefrost. They did it, man. And off the back of an insane play and clutch from Poon against 17 Gaming of all teams.
Man,
it was nuts.
I mean,
the same compound that E United was in earlier.
I mean, I feel like our hearts were racing there when Poonage got that last kill and the nade to finish him.
The nade, dude. Well, because we weren't sure, right? Like, we had no idea if they had actually qualified. In fact, I don't know if they were really safe yet. I think they were just on the cusp at 9th. But I think a big thing that led to that, Mark, and you were commenting a lot on it as well, was just the team fighting, dude. They looked so good in groups, and they looked even better going into the winners bracket. Overall, dude, Yahoo was... They were just great, and they were, again, coming off the fact that they didn't play PCS 7 was just really impressive to see them come together like this, and all the members on that roster were fragging. And
all 4 of them are insane. Sure, Sparking is a star, right? Sparking is, like you mentioned, the Lanimal land buff, but overall, the whole team.
Dude, Shinboy stepped up. I feel like
not
that he ever doesn't step up, but I just feel like even coming into this, like Shinboy has really put them in good spots in team fights and been able to get the knocks. So Yahoo, we're looking forward to seeing them in grand finals as well, and wish them all the best of luck, baby. Come on, North America, you guys can do it. Which moves us to our last team. The team that arguably has done the best overall. I don't even think it's arguably. E United has absolutely been dominant for us so far in groups. Not only that, but in winners bracket as well. They placed top 5. What really is there to say about E United that hasn't already been said?
That all Fraggers Kick is the standout player, but all of them amazing.
This is what's most impressive. They were able to transplant their PCS and ESL gameplay and strategy, right? Controlling edge, playing slow off that, taking the right position at the right timings, dude. Their timings are insane. They were able to transplant that beautifully here.
No, you're 100%. Like, a lot of the other teams, they didn't seem, the teams that went out in the losers, they didn't seem like they were the same teams we know from North America, right? But EU is just doing what they do. So we've seen them do this. Yeah, we see them do this every event. Nothing changes. They just run over all the teams. They get in position that they want to be in, and that's it. I mean, I would be really, really surprised if they're not top 3 team, right?
I would also be incredibly surprised. E United is just looking like world beaters, just like they have been in our own region. They've been showing it off internationally now. Again, we've talked about as well how each one of those players has had international success, not necessarily together on the same team, right? But all of those players have found success internationally as well as regionally, and so we knew coming into this they were going to be really strong. We hoped that they would be able to kind of play their game style, and nothing changed, baby.
Nothing changed.
Just as consistent, still the same damn team. This could potentially be the best grand finals we've ever had in PUBG, and it's even more exciting for us because we actually have 3 North American teams that are in the mix. And not only that, but I think those 3 North American teams absolutely have a shot at not only winning, but placing very highly together, right? That'd be so amazing to see all of them in like the top 8, for instance, and I think that's more than possible.
Just imagine if Yahoo wins, right? Can you imagine
frickin'
all
logo.
the North American haters? The logo, all the haters they have. Oh man, I mean, myself, I'm a fan of them. I really want Sparking, Poon, and the boys.
Same.
Well, you know, they're just...
And I would love the same for Adam and the boys, and Relo and the boys, right?
Yeah,
I mean, but realistically, there can only be one winner. Let's just hope that Well, let's just hope that all of our teams are on that podium, man. So it's been a wild ride, but this has been a fun PGC. Speaking of grand finals, make sure you tune in on Thursday morning. That's right, this Thursday is the grand finals where we will be crowning a brand new PGC 2022 champion, as last year's champions are no longer in the running. And until then, of course, we'll see you on the battlegrounds.